What's up, YouTube? It's Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be reacting to the Steelers' loss against the Eagles. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. If you guys would like to support me and this channel more, be sure to hit that join button down in the description below. And if you guys can't tell, I have been very sick these last couple of 3 days, man. 4 days, going on 5 days. Fuck it. Take me into next week. And after watching this game, I'm feeling even worse, man. So I'm going to start it out with this. Obviously, I am not down on the Steelers. I am not done with the season. I am not throwing in the towel. However, when we have these performances against the good teams and we're supposed to be a good team, it does kind of, just put a damper in the mood. It makes me feel a little bad. I got this big ass t-shirt on, man. I'm just not feeling good. But I will say, because we lost to the Eagles, that does not mean we are out of it in terms of the AFC race, because there isn't a team like the Eagles in the AFC. Like, let's be honest. They have two stud wide receivers. They have a stud running back. Their line is crazy. Jalen Hurts is tush pushing his way all to every single touchdown that they score. No team in the AFC is doing that, right? And then on top of that, too, we got to talk about the Steelers. We got to give our asterisks before we give the Eagles the W. They played a fine game. Congratulations, Philly. But we were down George Pickens on offense. We were down Deshaun Elliott on defense. So we are not the healthiest team, but the same problems we've been talking about definitely reared their head today, especially no George Pickens. We've said over and over and over again, we need a wide receiver. The passing game isn't good enough. Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin, what is going on? And today it all came to the light, man. Without George Pickens, this offense is very stale. It required Pat Freiermuth to get like back-to-back-to-back receptions. And granted, Pat is great, but what are we talking about right now? Why did we trade for Mike Williams to not throw him the ball? I really don't understand what's happening with that situation. Truthfully, I am kind of over Mike Williams not playing. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? I don't know. Why did we even trade for him? Once again, I'm sitting here questioning that. Calvin Austin played pretty good. Connor Hayward was able to draw a flag, but you know what I'm saying? Like, these are our top weapons right now. And even with George Pickens, it is still a little thin. And so that is a big problem that has faced us all year. And like, low-key, we've been able to persevere through it. Low-key, Russell Wilson played pretty good. We've been able to kind of drive the ball still. Our running game is kind of carrying us, but we'll talk about the running game in a second here. But at the end of the day, we knew that this was going to be a problem from week -1 in the preseason. We knew that this was going to be a problem all the way back in the draft. And of course, Roman Wilson getting hurt, that doesn't help the situation. George Pickens not being there doesn't help the situation. We're going against a Philadelphia Eagles team that, like, do they even have a salary cap? How is it possible for them to have all pro players at every single position? That's neither here nor there. But it's just frustrating. You know what I mean? It is just very frustrating. And then next, Arthur Smith, this kind of dives into you, but of course, Najee Harris is the one who did actually fumble the ball. But why is every single time Jaylen Warren gets a good run, we resort back to Najee Harris. And not only do we resort back to Najee Harris, but we resort back to the fucking toss plays. And of course, if you saw the game, you know what I'm talking about. It is like 13-20. It is a very reachable game. Like, we went into halftime with some momentum. Like, we had it. Philly gets the ball. I'm pretty sure they either scored or got a field goal on their first drive, and then it was like back to us. You know what I'm saying? The game is still within reach. We have a chance. Mr. Unlimited has the ball, where we just did a fucking flea flicker, and it worked, for God's sakes. Like, when does flea flickers ever work for us, right? And so that happens. We're in somewhat of the red zone. We're at like the 30. We're moving. We're driving. We do a stupid fucking toss to Naj. He fumbles the ball, and that was it. That was the ball game right there. As soon as the Eagles got the ball back, I knew it was over, because our defense hadn't stopped the thing all day. And we will talk about them in a second. But the main point of this is Arthur Smith, I'm looking at you, I'm talking to you. Mike Tomlin, I'm looking at you, I'm talking to you. If no one has brought it to your attention, consider this me bringing it to your attention. Stop doing toss plays with Najee Harris. It doesn't work. We have Jaylen Warren. We have Cordero Patterson. For fuck's sake, we have Connor Hayward. Like, do those plays with any one of those players. Every time we give the ball to Naj on a toss, it goes absolutely nowhere. This time, it went absolutely negative nowhere, because Philly ended up getting the ball back and they ended up scoring. And so I don't know why it's taken until week 15 at this point to get this out of the playbook, but that shit needs to be deleted. Control-Alt-Delete, reset the playbook, reset the computer, do something, wipe the memories, just fucking unplug it while it's still on, while it's updating, unplug it. Do something, because these plays cannot continue to happen for this team, right? And so now, I mean, I talked about the wide receivers, the fumble by Najee Harris, it wasn't good. And Najee Harris, I love Naj. I've had like my career arcs with Naj. Like, if you guys have been watching the channel, you know, like I'm not really the highest on Naj, but because of the slander he's been taking, because of like the uphill climb it's seeming to be, because he has to get a new contract, I'm like back in on Naj, right? But it's shit like this that like really it just kills it for me. And I'm not trying to, you know, it was a fumble out. He like they kept panning to him on the sideline. He looked so sad about it. Like he looked so hurt about it. Clearly he didn't want to fumble. Like nobody is saying that, but it just, you know, for the Naj haters and the Jaylen Warren supporters, like you see that shit happen, and it is just tough for me to like get on here and be like, yeah, it's okay, Naj, because I love Jaylen Warren and I would love for him to get back-to-back handoffs. Like it's impossible, you know. But so, you know, that happens and we fumble the ball. And the next I want to talk about is the defense, because like I said, this isn't going to be a problem for us in the AFC. I am not completely done on this team because, you know, because Philly just murked us. But the defense, man, we get in these 3rd and longs, these 2nd and longs, and I swear to God, it's like we are all playing with our eyes closed. It's like, okay, we can give up 15 yards. You know, it's only 3rd and 25. We can give up 25 yards. Like, I don't know why this continuously happens. This isn't like a 2024 issue. This isn't like a, you know, a Russell Wilson issue. This isn't like a this year issue. Like this has always happened to this fucking team, man. We love giving up long 3rd downs. We love giving up long 2nd downs. And Philly, they just absolutely capitalized on it. Like at no point did they ever seem like bewildered. At no point did they ever seem like they were playing a top defense in the world, because I'm telling you, and I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, sometimes this defense, like it just goes from the top defense to just like ass. I'll say it, ass. We played like ass today on defense. And I know, obviously Dante Jackson going down hurts. Like our cornerback room is already thin. Deshaun Elliott, losing him, our secondary is already thin. I get it, but how many excuses can I make? We're going against Philly. We knew what Philly was beforehand. We knew they had A.J. Brown. We knew they had Devonta Smith, but it was going to be on us to figure out how to stop them. And today, we didn't know how to stop them, man. And then you tie that all into Saquon Barkley fucking getting 10 yards per carry, breaking tackles left and right. Jalen Hurts, there was this one play where he had like this quarterback, it wasn't a sneak, but it was just like a design run for him. And Philly's offensive line, I got to give them credit. I have to give Philly credit. You know, they played a good game, but Philly's offensive line, they just completely like just drove us like left and right, and the middle was wide open, right? Jalen Hurts sprints through there, and who's there to stop him? Big DeMonte Casey, and DeMonte Casey went down with injury. It wasn't on this play, not too much on DeMonte Casey. I know it's sad because he went down with injury, but I'm bringing up this play first. It is Jalen Hurts versus DeMonte Casey one-on-one, and if I told you DeMonte Casey wasn't even on the screen or in the play, you would believe me, because it's like he wasn't even there. He just completely sheds DeMonte Casey off of him, and it takes TJ Watt running 15 yards down the field backwards to get Jalen Hurts. Otherwise, that would have been a touchdown. So shout out to TJ Watt for that. But man, it is tough when I'm hyping up this defense. The defense is supposed to be the part of the team that I'm like, yes, there is no way Philly is going to do this to us, do that to us, because our defense is like that. Today, they were not like that. And if you've been watching the Steelers for a little bit, you could have saw it coming. I kind of saw it coming. Going into this game, I knew it was going to be tough. I knew it was going to be spooky. But I didn't think, you know, and we had 12 minutes left in the game, and it was like a 10-point game. It was a one-possession game, and all of a sudden, shit was just over. Just like that, it was over. We started off slow in the first quarter. That kills us every time. That's not only a Philly issue, that's just a Steelers in general issue, right? So we start off the first quarter bad. We kind of bring it back, and then once that second half hits, once Najee Harris fumbles, it's like the defense fumbled too. They just gave up too. They were just like, fuck it, whatever, we lost. Everybody seemed like, we lost. There was a few players I want to call out. Patrick Queen, I think he played pretty good. He was flying around out there. Peyton Wilson was flying around out there. But for the most part, like our defense just got absolutely torched by Jalen Hurts. Our offense had nothing to like. Our offense came with nothing today, and obviously, down George Pickens, it was going to be tough before, but it's just very tough to see this offense look as stagnant as they do. It is very tough to see Najee Harris have that fumble. Like right there, we were right there, man. We really, if Najee doesn't fumble and we get that touchdown, we have all types of momentum, and maybe, just maybe, the defense wakes up and we get the job done. But today, it didn't happen. We lost, I want to say, 13 to like 28, 27. I don't know. They've just been pushing for the last 5 minutes of this fucking game. And the last point I want to make, maybe not the last because I do tend to rant, but the last point I kind of want to talk about is this clock management shit, right? Because Mike Tomlin, why are we giving the offense the ball with one timeout with like 30 seconds left? Why are we letting the clock go down so much? Why aren't we utilizing things like the 2-minute warning? Why do we keep running toss plays? Why do we keep doing the same shit? Why do we keep having flags after flags after flags? If it's not one thing to let a team get, 20 yards on a third down. If it's not one thing, it's guess what? We stopped them, but there's a flag. We're like the most disciplined team ever. Mike Tomlin, I've been watching Hard Knocks, man. I've been watching all of these shows, and like I see it in the meeting, so it's like hard for me to put it on you because I know you are saying these things, but fuck, man, who do I blame? Like, we can't just keep blaming the players. We're on like the 18th regime of players, you know what I'm saying? And we've had this issue over and over and over again. We get flags when like at the worst times to get flags. We call timeouts at the worst times to not call timeouts. Like we'll go into half sometimes with 2 timeouts left, and it's like, man, why didn't we just bang one out? Why did the offense have no time? Because Mike Tomlin has 7 timeouts in his pocket because he thinks they roll over. Who is going to tell the guy you can't hold on to these things, man? You can't, like, it's just very frustrating. I'm very frustrated. I wanted better for this team. I wanted this game to look a little bit better. And I haven't mentioned it yet. I don't know the exact status on TJ Watt, but he, with like 3 minutes left, was holding his ankle down, and it was just like, that was just like the final blow. That was like, if you've ever watched Naruto, when Gaara has out his hand and he's like sand coffin, right? Like us down 28 points, that was the coffin. And then TJ Watt on the ground, that was the sand burial. Like, we're dead as fuck now because TJ Watt is hurt. Hopefully this guy can come back. If he can't, like if TJ Watt can't play, we're done. I hate to break it to you guys, but if TJ Watt is out, we have no chance at anything. But if he is back, I don't want this to be the end of the road. I don't want this to like be, the end of the season for us, because we have a good game against Baltimore coming up. We got to get that win. Actually, no, I believe the Chiefs game is next. But like after that, we have the Chiefs, we have Baltimore, we have the Bengals. We got to win these games. We have to go into the playoffs with some momentum, and we have to get a playoff game. And like I said at the beginning of the video, there is no team in the AFC that is going to give us as much trouble as Philadelphia gave us today. There is no team that is going to be this much of a problem for us on defense. And on offense, once again, like their defense, Philly's defense is crazy because they have Pro Bowlers at every position somehow. Their rookie classes, like Cooper DeJean was flying around. He was someone who I wanted to be a Steeler, but it is what it is. We can't get him. We're hating. It's all right. But like no team is going to have a good of an offense or a good of a defense as Philadelphia had today. And so if our goals are Super Bowl aspirations, right, which is always our goal because we are Steelers fans, it's a tough stretch. And I've been saying that all year. It's been a tough stretch all year to win the Super Bowl. But the progressive, okay, we improved this year goal of winning a playoff game today doesn't change unless TJ Watt is hurt. If TJ Watt is missing time, we're done, like finito, right? But if he's not, and we're going to get George Pickens back eventually too, that doesn't change. We should still have faith in this team to at least, win a playoff game and maybe fuck around and make the Super Bowl, right? But it's just very tough to like say all these things when we lose to Philadelphia like this. We're still 10-4 though. We're still defying the odds. We're still doing our thing. But it was just a tough game today. So I think that is going to do it for me for this video. My voice is dying. I apologize if I sound like really bad in this video. I apologize. I still haven't fixed the light bulb either, but it is what it is. Like I said, I like the ambiance of this, but I will say I'm looking at myself right now. I don't look too hot, right? So it is what it is. I'm going to get out of here. I wish we would have won this game. I really did want to. It is what it is. Next time we play Philly, we'll be in the Super Bowl, and we'll walk away with the Super Bowl championship, the 7th Lombardi. I still got faith in this team. I still got faith in Mr. Unlimited. And shout out to Muth. That's my last point. Muth was hooping today. I've been hating on Muth all year. I've been hating on Muth his whole career in Pittsburgh, but he was kind of hooping today. So he, shout out to Muth. But other than that, this team just bad day on offense, bad day on defense. We'll get him next week. Anyways, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.